Good afternoon, students. In previous class, we have discussed the other modes of nutrition in plants such as parasitic plants and other insectivorous plants. And today we will discuss and we are going to revise the topic saprotrophs and symbiosis. Okay? These two things will be today's topic. Chapter number 1, this is revision class, okay? So let's start, students. Okay. So page number from your book, page number 5. Saprotrophs. Saprotrophs. This is another mode of heterotrophic nutrition. And saprotrophs means, sapro means rotten and trophos means trophs. Actually, trophos are called as nourishment. Okay, so from the term we can conclude that the organisms that feed on or that derive food from rotten things, rotten non-living things are known as saprotrophs. Okay, so have you ever seen saprotrophs? You might have seen that packets of mushroom sold in the vegetables market, okay? And you might also have been seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing in moist soil or on rotting woods during rainy season. Okay? So these are called fungi, and they are example of saprotrophs. Okay? So these are called fungi. So example, fungi. Okay, and they have different mode of nutrition. They absorb nutrition from the dead and decaying matter. Have you ever seen fungi growing on bread? I hope you have seen. These fungi take nutrients or absorb nutrients from the bread. Okay? So now I will write what is saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay? So saprotrophic nutrition. Now, what is saprotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition, you can write the mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients from dead and decaying matter. Now, this dead and decaying matter can also be called non-living organic matter, isn't it? Non-living organic matter. So the mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients from the dead and decaying matter or non-living organic matter is called saprotrophic nutrition. Saprotrophic nutrition, isn't it? So any problem, students? I hope there will be no problem regarding this. Okay. So I am rubbing this. Now, can you say that is fungi is beneficial or harmful? Can you say fungi is beneficial or harmful? Can anyone say? Both. Yes, fungi is beneficial as well as harmful. Some fungi are pathogenic to human beings. Mostly they cause some skin infection or allergic reaction to our body. That's why some fungi are harmful for us. Okay, but most fungi are beneficial to living organisms, plants, human beings. Okay, so now I am writing some benefits of fungi. Note it down. Benefits of fungi. First benefit is in the form of nutrient, that is mushroom. Okay, so in the form of nutrient like mushroom, isn't it? Next, as you know that some fungi including yeast is the agent of fermentation. In fermentation what happens? Actually what happens? Carbohydrate is being converted into alcohol in anaerobic condition or in absence of air by some fungi like yeast. Okay, so this is fermentation. So we can say that fungi act as agent of fermentation. So due to fermentation what we get? There is production of bread, then cheese, then some alcoholic beverages. Okay, alcoholic beverages, isn't it? Any problem, students? So these are two benefits from fungi. Another benefit that is very, very important, that they are naturally produce antibiotics. Fungi can naturally produce antibiotics. Anti means foe. Biotics, here bacteria, means they are foe of bacteria. Means when there is infection of bacteria, then such antibiotics from the fungi are used to cure such bacterial infection in our body. Okay, so there is a antibiotics named as penicillin that is extracted from fungi that can be used to cure pneumonia and some other bacterial infection. Okay, so what is the main function of antibiotics? To kill the bacteria or to stop the growth of bacteria. Okay, so you can write in another point that fungi naturally produce antibiotics, isn't it? Antibiotics. So, next, the example of such antibiotic is penicillin. Penicillin. Okay, penicillin can be used as antibiotics to cure pneumonia, then some bacterial infection. Okay, so here we have seen that how fungi are beneficial to us. Now, fungi also grow on pickles, leather, clothes and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather for long time. So, what is the favorable condition for their growth? So, for their growth, favorable condition like hot and humid. Humid means when the surrounding temperature is more due to more concentration of water vapor. Okay? Yes, penicillin must be taken for disease like pneumonia. Okay, Ayantik, any problem? Okay, so let's come to the things that fungi grow on pickles, leather, clothes and other articles only in rainy season. Rainy season when the weather is hot, humid, okay, hot and humid, and these fungal spores are generally present in the air. So, fungal spores are generally normally present in the air. So, whenever they get the favorable condition, they just land on the wet or warm things and they germinate, and by this way, after germination, their growth takes place. Okay, so by this way, the growth of fungi occurs. Okay, I hope you understood this. I am rubbing this portion. Next comes to another mode of heterotrophic nutrition. Other modes, not only heterotrophic, other modes of nutrition such as symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic association, or it is also known as symbiosis. Okay, so symbiosis or symbiotic association, isn't it? Now, symbiosis means the organisms, two organisms, they are closely related to each other, or close relationship that exists between the two organisms. Okay, here both are involved with each other and they take benefits from each other, isn't it? So here we can say that in the symbiosis, the relationship is just like a mutual relationship where two organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrients. First example, that is in your book, page number 7. There is one example that some fungi that lives in the roots of some plants. So, here you have known that fungi take shelter under roots of plants. Okay. Shelter. And plants provide nutrients and also nutrients and some other thing that required to the fungus. As plants can prepare their own food, so they provide nutrients to the fungi. Now, in return, fungus provides them water and mineral. As you know, water is very important as it acts as raw materials for photosynthesis. So, they take water and minerals from the fungi, or fungi provides water and minerals to the plants so that they can prepare their own food. So, by this way, they are interdependent on each other, and we can say they are in symbiosis, isn't it? Next, I will say another example of symbiosis. Such a symbiotic relationship is known as lichen, where two organisms lives together. Lichen. So, lichen is such a symbiotic relationship or symbiotic association where two organisms lives and share the things they need. Here, lichen is made up of a chlorophyll containing partner, that is algae. Why it is known as chlorophyll containing? At it possesses chlorophyll, so they can make their own food. But in another way, fungi. Now, how these algae and fungi are interdependent on each other? Fungus that provides shelter, water and essential mineral. Okay, essential minerals to the algae, and in return, as algae have capability to prepare their own food, so they share food to fungi. Understood? In return, algae prepares and provides food to the fungus. So, by this way, we can say that algae and fungi are in symbiosis, and their symbiotic association is known as lichen. Isn't it? I hope there will be no any problem regarding these two topics, saprotrophs and this symbiosis. And in the next video, in the next class, we will revise the another topic, how nutrients are replenished in the soil. So students, have you any problem? Please say. If you have any problem, just ask me here. Okay, you have understood the whole matter, what I have taught in today's class? Okay. Okay, students, stay safe. Goodbye. See you soon in the next online class. Thank you, students.